this is the tutorial for the 21 cards done. So what you need is you need to take out 21 random cards. It doesn't matter what they are. Alright? And then they have to be random cards. They don't have to be. You can. It's better to use random cards because like if you have like a specific cards like all the spades and a few of the diamonds together, then they're gonna notice that there's like why do you have all that? It's like you want like as random as possible, so then it's fair. There's no trick to it. It's not like you're trying to hide something. It's just that the reason you want random cards is so that it's really fair that they can choose whatever card they want. There's a variety of suits and there's a variety of numbers. So you want to tell the spectator to shuffle the cards as much as they want. Alright, you don't want to touch for the first half of the trick, you don't want to touch the cards. So you ask them to shuffle the cards as much as they want and tell them to make 3 piles of 7 cards each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they can order that however they want. Now you ask them to pick up any pile they want, and you ask them to shuffle it. Alright, and then you want them to look at the pile and memorize one of the cards. Just say they're going to memorize the King of Spades. Alright? Now you ask them to shuffle it again. Alright? And you don't even have to look at this. You can have your back turned or whatever. Just make sure they're doing it right. Now ask them to replace the packet where that was. And ask them to pick either of the 2 piles that are left. And then just have them pick this up and shuffle that pile. And then put that pile back where it was. Now take the pile where their card originally was, and still there. You want to take this pile and you want to put it on top of the pile that you just shuffled. Now take the last pile and shuffle that pile and put that on top. So now what the spectator's done is they sandwiched where their pile is into the middle. So now their selection that they're memorizing is somewhere in the middle half. Alright? So now when you take the cards back now, you're going to shuffle the cards. You're going to say you're shuffling the cards, but you're really going to do a weird shuffle right here. What you're going to do is you're going to hold it like in your overhand shuffle. You're going to count off 1 card at a time, singly. You're going to go 1, 2, and you can see I'm reversing the order. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, deal off 7 cards singly. And reversing those 7 cards order. And then you want to drop the rest of the packet on top. Alright, now you want to do this again, but you want to do is a different number. You want to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And instead of putting it back on bottom, slapping the rest on top, you want to take these 4 cards that you just dealt off, and you want to place them back on top. Alright? And then this time you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 cards again. And this time instead of putting them back on top, you want to put them on bottom. So you took 7 cards, put them to the bottom, 4 cards, put them back to the top, and 4 cards again, and put them to the bottom. So what you've done is you either put their card at the top 6 cards or at the bottom 6 cards. Or I think it's top 3 cards and bottom 3 cards. So in this case, it's in the top 3 cards. In your case, it might be the bottom 3 cards. Whichever. It doesn't matter. So what you want to do is you want to, oh I'm sorry. Yeah, that's the top 3 cards. Okay. So you want to start dealing cards into 3 rows like this. Alright? And then once you deal out 6 cards, you want to start slowing down and say, have you seen your card yet? And make sure they answer you truthfully. Like, have you seen your card yet? Like, you've seen it, right? Like, ask them. And if they say yes, then you know that their card is this card, or this card. If they say no, hold on a second. So you keep dealing. If they say no, then you keep dealing. Even if they say yes, keep dealing. So now when you get to the end, if they said no when you asked them if their card was up there, that means their card is either this card, or this card. So since they said yes that their card was up there, then that means their card has to be this card, or this card. So when they ask you, you ask them which row's in, this one, or this one, they're gonna answer this one because that's where their card is. So if they if you know their card's up here because they said yes their card was up here, then you know that this is going to be their card because it's going to be up here and they said their card's in this row, so it has to be this card. But if they said no their card's not up here when you were dealing the cards down, that means their card's one of these cards. If they say this row, that means this is their card. So this is the card they're memorizing, because you know they said yes up here, and that they're memorized, and that their card's in this row. So you know that that's the card now, but you don't want them to know that. So you just want to scoop up the cards, and you want to control this either to the top or the bottom. I like the top better. In the performance I did the bottom, but whatever works. And like I think it's easier to go to the bottom if the card's like on the bottom. So like if the cards are like dealt out this way and like the card's like right here, I think it's better just to scoop it up like this and have it on the bottom rather than have it on the top and move it, because it looks kind of weird. So wherever you controlled it, to the top or the bottom, and you can do some false cuts. Like I did in the performance. The false cuts I did was I just took about a third from the top, I slapped it down, or I set it down, and I took another half of what I've left, and I set that down right next to it, and I set the last half right there, or the last third. And so I take this original top half, I put it on top of the middle half, and I put that on top of the bottom half. So pretty much what I did is I did nothing. It looks like I cut it, but I really didn't. So I controlled their cards still at the top. Alright, and I can still do some cuts like this, like false cuts, whatever you want to do. Just leave it on top. Now, when you want to ask them, like you just want to explain that you can't find their card and stuff, and you just want to tell them that, to ask them to name their card. And you don't want them to say it before you can show them their card. You want to, like right when you ask them, you want to show them their card, so before they get an answer, you already know what the card is. So this is what it would look like. It's like, name your card. And they're already looking at their card. And like you want to act like it's nothing. You don't want to like deal it in front of them like name your card. You just want to like throw it in front of them like, okay, like name your card. And then they're going to be really shocked before they even name their card, and that's the card they're thinking of. And they're going to be really surprised, rather than the version where you just have to deal the cards like this. And then you control the card to the middle, and everyone knows how that's done. So I hope you enjoyed this. It's a really great trick.